Our mission is to inspire, educate, and motivate young people across the Caribbean. This is the Vision Seekers podcast, where views collide, founded by Amanda Webley and Shawala Richards during the COVID-19 pandemic. But VSP is more than two. We are a team dedicated to seeking out and presenting solutions to the problems that matter to you through open and honest conversations. Stay tuned.
In 2015 and in 2018, Bloomberg recognized the Jamaica Stock Exchange as the number one performing exchange in the world. Welcome to another episode of the Vision Seekers podcast, where we will be talking about the who, what, where, when, and how of investing. I am Shawala Richards.
And I'm Amanda Webley, your host for today's discussion. We're joined by two young investors, Gabriel Joy Higgins, a YouTuber with an interest in investing, who began trading on the Jamaica Stock Exchange in 2019, and now active on the international market, is investing in Forex, cryptocurrency, and stocks.
Our second guest is Victoria Paran, who started investing right after she graduated from school. And now she's currently the Vice President of the Young Investors Club at UAMONA. For the listeners that have no idea what the Young Investors Club is, can you give a brief overview about what your club does?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here. Okay, so the UE Young Investors Club is pretty much a community of students at the UAMONA where we spread financial literacy, we learn from each other, we share our passion for investing, and we talk about a wide range of topics, whether it's the stock market, cryptocurrency, real estate. We have guest speakers on our club every Thursday at 3 p.m. where we get professionals from within the industry to share insights. And we also share our insights with each other, keeping up with the market activity. So it's really exciting. We're a growing club and we're absolutely passionate.
Yeah, I've been to some of the meetings and it's definitely great. So with that being said, both Victoria and Gabriel are here to share their knowledge and experience about investing and traversing the ups and downs of the stock market. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, in your opinion, what's the difference between savings and investing?
So I think like savings is like storing seeds, but investing is like planting them, watering it, and taking care of the plant until it becomes a big enough tree where it can now sustain itself. So some trees, some investments grow faster than others, and some require more care and attention. But you only want to grow fruit-bearing trees so that you can get more seeds. Otherwise, it's a liability and not an asset.
So do you think that you'd have to be a good saver to be a good investor?
Well, yeah, you need the seeds in order to plant them. So if you keep eating the seeds, then you don't have anything to plant. So
I like that. So according to the Caribbean Policy Research Institute, in their most recent checking document, in 2018, 78% of Jamaicans had a bank account, but only 23% of those accounts were active. So if somebody who say prefers to put their money under their mattress and they want to have their money at home so they can always have access to it, why would you tell them to invest? What are the benefits to investing in your opinion? What have you reaped so far?
Okay, I'll take this one. So first and foremost, guys, inflation is a monster. So if you just have money sitting around, it is losing value by the day, by the hour, by the minute. So having money under your mattress or in a savings account it's only serving you to lose money. So first and foremost, investing is a hedge against inflation, meaning you have to keep up with inflation and then make some gains on your money. So that's why it's so important to invest and not just save. So of course, saving is where it starts first. You have to accumulate your money, make some sacrifices, and then put it into an investment vehicle so that you can hedge against inflation and then make gains on your money. So your money is working for you while you're at your day job, while you're sleeping, while you're eating, anything that you're doing. Your money is working for you, whereas you don't get that with saving. So it's very important to invest for that reason.
So Victoria, a question was asked previously. To be a good investor, do you think you have to be a good saver? Gabriel had said yes, but from your response just now, I feel as if you don't have the same idea.
No, I completely agree, because you have to have something to invest, right? So if you're spending all your money, then you have nothing left over. So you have to be really intentional and deliberate about it. To say, okay, when you get your income, you're going to save first. So you're making your budget plan and everything. You're saving first, and then you're spending what you have planned. Nothing more, nothing less. Or if you spend less and save more, then that's totally fine. But you have to save so that you actually have money to put into these investment vehicles so that they can work for you. So I absolutely agree. Saving is first and foremost, and then you put it into an investment.
So I noticed it's actually investment vehicles. And can you just expound on what those are?
Sure. So an investment vehicle, in the simplest way possible, you can think of it as what is actually driving your money forward. What it really is, that is making money for you on your money. So you put your money into something. What is that thing you're putting it into? Is it the stock market? Are you putting it into a specific company that you believe in and that they are going to perform excellently? So that stock will move your money forward and make gains for you. Or are you going to invest in the real estate market? Are you going to buy a house and rent it out to other persons throughout the year and make rental income and then get some capital gain on that house and sell it for even more than you bought it? Or are you going to put it into a unit trust or a mutual fund where you can access those at investment houses, financial institutions? So that's pretty much what an investment vehicle is. It's exactly what is moving your money forward for you, exactly what is making gains on your money.
So it's like moving from one destination to the next.
Exactly. It's your money that you're moving forward.
So Victoria, you were saying, you're telling us what things you could invest in. You could invest in a company, you could invest in real estate. How do you know what to invest in? What research do you have to do ahead of time before making a decision to, say, I'm going to invest this amount of money in this company?
Okay, well, firstly, what investment vehicle you choose is definitely based on the level of money you plan to invest and the risk that you plan to take on. So for example, most of us at our age, we can't really afford a house because houses are extremely expensive, but the stock market is very accessible to every and anybody. And that's really why I love it so much, because it's really open to anybody. There's no specific amount of money that you have to put in, or you don't have to be rich to invest in the stock market. It's for everybody. And so the stock market, you have companies ranging from the stock price truly doesn't matter. It's really the movement of the stock that matters. But just to tell you how accessible it is, you have companies ranging from a few cents to a few dollars to $1,000 or more. But the stock price doesn't matter. It's really the movement that matters, that price change. If your stock moves from $1 to $2 in a year, you've made 100% profit. So if you invested 10,000, then it's 20,000. If you invested 1 million, then it's 2 million. So that's really the importance. It's that price movement that's important.
I want to bring Gabrielle into the conversation. Victoria just spoke about Victoria just spoke about when you're choosing what to invest in, you have to think about how much risk you're willing to take. Can you tell us about the biggest investment failure you've had, and is it really a failure if you learn something from it?
So my biggest failures are less about the money and more about like the mindset I had. So procrastinating, a lack of resolve, a fear of taking risks. The longer I took to start investing, the more money I was losing, because as Victoria said, inflation is a beast. Like 2021, it was like 7.3%, and that's like crazy. So it's not even something that happened after a whole year. It's daily. It's like a daily you're losing money. But I'm sure people want to hear about numbers. So I would consider my biggest failure to be buying the Jamaica highway stocks right before COVID hit. Because I was like, my mindset at the time, I was literally so sure that nothing could go wrong, except like an earthquake to destroy the highway, and like earthquakes still happen like that in Jamaica. But then quarantine happened and nobody was going on the highways. So then, but it wasn't actually that bad of a loss. I bought the IPO at $1.41, and I got out at about $1.27. And then immediately after, I bought Jamaica teas and sold at 50% after 6 months. So if I had held that, I would be at 100% right now. But I wanted to buy XRP, which is a cryptocurrency. But actually, my greatest success has been with trading. So in my first week, I did 20% net increase of my account. And in January, I only did 10% because I was trading a lot less so that I could focus on social media and business. But since February, it's been really good. I've done 10% already. So I'm looking forward to it to see what's in the future.
So when it comes to investing, who do you say that you shouldn't put all your eggs in?
I think that you should focus on certain, for example, if you're doing stocks, you shouldn't invest in like 10 different companies spread across, in my opinion, spread like 100,000 across 10 different, because when you have less money and you spread it out like that, some companies will do better than others. So it's better to focus, like to research companies and find like 1 to 3 really good ones and invest in those. And then when you have more money, you kind of like diversify like that. So that's what I would say in terms of like the type of investment. If you're going to do crypto and trading and stocks and everything, I would say to focus on finding a good level of expertise in one before you move on to the next one.
Back to the point of research, what kind of research would you need to do in order to invest in the right company, or a company that would give you a good return on your investment?
Well, first, it depends on, it sounds like you're talking more about stocks. So I would first look at the people who know what they're talking about. Like, for example, for the Jamaica Stock Exchange, Randy Rowe is like really good. He's not a financial advisor, most of them aren't, but they have a lot of experience and they give good wisdom. So I would pay attention to those persons, and then the stocks that they bring up, I'd research those. That's how I would go about it.
We have a quote here from Robert Arnott. In investing, what is comfortable is rarely profitable. Victoria, do you have any comments on this? Like we asked Gabrielle about her biggest investment failure. I want to hear from you. Do you agree that, well, you did say that to succeed, you have to take risks. Can you tell us about your biggest failure and your biggest success in investing? Oh, like how great a risk are you going to take? Yeah. How do you know if something is too risky? Or is there such a thing?
Okay. All right. Thank you for that question. And that's a very good question because, guys, the hallmark of investing, as is said popularly, is risk. So investing in anything at all is a risk. So it's really about risk management and not completely avoiding risk, because that's exactly what it is. Nobody ever knows for sure how a company is going to perform or what will happen in the economy or what will happen within a certain industry. So there's always a risk involved, but it's about managing your risk. So risk, guys, it's really correlated to your lifestyle and the stage at which you are in life. So for example, I'm pretty young. I'm 21 years old. I'm a university student. I don't have a whole lot of responsibilities right now. Like, for example, I don't have children to feed and school fee to pay for children or paying for a house. So because of that, I don't have to worry too much about losing so much so that I can't meet my responsibilities, because I don't have so many responsibilities. So it's about what you can really manage to take on, the level of risk that you can afford, which is correlated to your lifestyle. But at the same time, you have to be really wise about managing your risk. And that's by doing enough research and going the extra mile to ensure that what you're putting your money into, you're confident about it and you know exactly what you're doing. So you can't go and buy a stock because somebody said so. You really have to do your own research and know what you're putting your money into. Go and research that company, find out what their business model is, how they earn their money, what kind of profits they're making. You know, you really have to go out there. There's the JSE website, jamstockx.com. That's the official Jamaica Stock Exchange website. All the official information is posted there when it comes on to the quarterly and annual financial statements of companies. those are definitely a golden resource and something that you really want to take the time and go through before you actually dive into a stock. So it's really about managing your risk. As I say, it's correlated to your lifestyle. So for example, now that we're younger, we can take on more risk than when we're older and we have to worry about children to feed and, you know, whether paying rent or a mortgage or paying for a car or anything. So it's how much you're willing to take on, and you have to be comfortable with that because there's no guarantee. It could go really, really well, or it could go the other way. So you really have to know what you want and know what you're doing and do so with confidence.
All right.
Yeah, I just want to add a little bit in terms of like other types of investments. So like trading, it's literally 80% mindset. And what you said about risk is really, really, really important. You have to risk manage. You have to like not over risk your accounts. Thankfully, the company that I've been learning with is really big on that. So I've never lost massive amounts of money trading.
So what company is that, Gabrielle? Can you just let us know? Let us know.
It's called Q. The website is Q.plus. Really easy to find.
Q.plus. All right.
Yeah, at the Q Plus. So I'm definitely not worried about losing all of my money, but I do lose money from time to time. Trading is high risk, and it's not a good feeling. It can affect my psychology negatively, especially if I'm on a losing streak, which happened once, which is why I didn't trade as much in January. So I gave myself some breathing space, and now I'm back in the game and stuff. So when you're doing things like crypto, NFTs, those things are very high risk, and it's important to do your own research and to learn, to just learn about the different things. It can be very difficult at the beginning, but it's very rewarding over time. So definitely don't jump into things you lose a lot of money.
Yeah, you said you had to take a step back. What would you actually say to someone who is on a losing streak and they're thinking instead of taking a step back, they're just going to give up completely?
I would say definitely don't give up, because that you win sometimes, you lose sometimes. That's the risk reward management. So when you risk a certain amount, you want to try and gain a certain level of reward based on that risk. And over time, like when you lose the amount that you risk. So for example, for us, we don't risk more than 2% each day of our accounts. So if you lost 2% like for 3 days, that's 6%. But if for each 2% you target like a 10%, then on the fourth day when you make 10%, that's 4% net. So if you stick in it, become persistent, like if you have a strategy that actually works, and you're able to win consistently, then over time, even though you're losing some of your trades, over time you'll definitely be in profit. So for me, even though I lost, I've been consistently in profit because I've stayed consistent, I've been persistent, and I've been learning and bettering my skills. So definitely don't give up. Just practice on a demo account if you think that it's too stressful to do live. And then once you are consistently having some wins with the strategy that you're using on your demo account, then you can switch over back to live again.
Wait, so do you have demo accounts for the stock exchange?
I think some applications allow you to practice buying a certain stock at a certain price at a certain time, and then later on you sell it. So that would be kind of similar. So you can see like, if I had bought this stock at this time and this amount, then and then sold it at this time, then this is the profit or the loss that I would have made. So you can see that.
I think Young Investors Club had actually had a stock exchange game.
Yeah, we do, and it's actually still going on. So we actually have the Jamaica Stock Exchange game. It's a collaboration with the official Jamaica Stock Exchange, where students, members of the club, had the opportunity to come on, get $100,000 virtual money, and actually practice investing with that. So before you go on the live market and risk your real money, you can get some practice with how it works, get familiar with the trading platforms, get familiar with the companies, and I think that's a great opportunity because it's really important to learn from experience and make your mistakes and learn from them. So if you can do that with virtual money, then that's perfect.
All right, so would you both say that having more investors in the stock market would be beneficial to you?
I think having more investors in the stock market would be beneficial to the whole country because investing is something that can really take your standard of living to the next level. So it's, what's trending now is multiple streams of income. So it's absolutely another stream of income that can really move you forward in life. And that's something that would benefit the whole country when you think about it. If everybody can elevate their standard of living, then all the better for all of us. So everyone really should invest.
What do you think is the biggest reason why people don't invest? Gabrielle, she wants to say something. So can you answer that question?
Yeah, I agree with Victoria. The more wealthy people you have in your country, the better. I think there's a misconception that some people have to be poor in order for others to be rich. Like, if I'm winning, then that means somebody else must have lost. I think that's one of the reasons why people are afraid to invest because they're afraid of being on the losing side. Right? People are afraid of risking. Like, they want things that are sure. That's why you get caught up in scams because they guarantee you returns. When nothing is a guarantee really. So you just have to be very wise. Wisdom is really you need the knowledge, you need the wisdom in order to change your life, in order to move up. So once you develop the mindsets, the wisdom, the knowledge, then you're able to move from your situation to know what to do when you're investing, know what to do with your money and stuff like that. So I think the lack of wisdom is definitely a driving factor.
So what do you think as a country we could do to ensure that people have a lot more knowledge about financial markets and investing?
Yeah, so if you could give someone advice who just started investing, what's one thing you would tell them? One key takeaway.
Wait.
Okay, I'll answer the two questions.
Yes.
So I think to change that, we need persons that we can look on as an example. That we need people who are transparent and vulnerable about the process and being able to learn from them, from their mistakes and so on. So that's one of the main things that I aim to do with Live Life with Joy, to be transparent, especially for Jamaicans, because like in the international market, most persons are from different countries, and so Jamaicans might feel like they're unable to do it, or sometimes there's some barriers. So to figure out what those are and to help others to move around them more quickly is something that I really want to do. The advice I would give is to have a mentor with solid results, and don't like try and add your 2 cents to it unless it's like your own personal research. But like, just get over yourself and follow the instructions. That's been what I've learned, because like I got caught up in my head, and like I just fell off for a couple of months actually. And all those months, literally, I could have been making so much money. It hurts me still to think about it, but I've learned from that to just, they've made their mistakes, you don't have to make them as well. So having a mentor in whichever field, whichever sphere is very important.
Victoria, one, if you could say one thing to somebody who's just starting out investing and doesn't know where to start, what would you say to them?
Okay, first of all, if you haven't started investing yet, you have to start now. The time is now, because money has a time value. Okay, so type in a broker on Google, go on their website, type it in on Google Maps and go to that location. I definitely recommend JMB and Sagicor Investments. Those are the best brokers I can recommend. There's also Barita, MCB, Proven, Mayberry, etc. JMB and Sagicor are the best accessible ones for students. So first of all, get started. And if you have gotten started, keep going. Do your research, guys. Make sure you know what you're investing in. There's so many resources out there. It's 2022, the age of technology. That's an all-time high. There's so much to learn. Just go on Google, go on the Jamaica Stock Exchange website, learn about the companies, find out what you want to invest in, and invest in it, and make sure you keep going. Don't ever stop investing. So whenever you put aside some money, keep putting it into some stocks, because over time, you're going to be so happy you did. 10 years down the line, you're going to be smiling. So keep investing, don't stop, keep doing your research, and make sure you're being intentional about it.
And that's a good note to end on.
All right, so some key takeaways for today's session is that there are no guarantees with investing. Trading is always a high risk, but it's important to never give up and do your research. Don't just take what somebody says and run with it. Research is key, and finding a good mentor is as well. Thank you for listening. Until next time, walk good.
Hello, this is Shamaya Haywood speaking, our outstanding VSP member. You have just listened to our investments episode hosted by Shwala. Now, we will have a poem presented and written by Dominic Waite. Enjoy!
Words on the politics and political system. And these words make me list them. A democratic setting, elections of competition, and rotations of power between JLP and PNP. No, sir. With all this, there is still so much problems we can see. For many years, crime and corruption still a devour. For many years, people are still root for shower and the power, and we still are going hold the hour. A vote with the vote, then have it sour. Road them for fix and inflation a spiral. No job, no day, and scamming at the youth's option figure viral. Look to no growth, so I just a plain or a vote me a prefigure. Leave out some come back so fi make them know. Listen to my flow as my have beer things just a throw. The options just tight, links just tight, and although we are fight at the end of the day are just night. Political system are gonna need a reform. Official that cares about the country's rainstorm, and when I use them platform to bypass claim farm or for missing farm, a full time with tax farm to make we transform. A full time with tax farm to make we transform. We are pay taxes for nothing. As the man said.
This has been an episode of the Vision Seekers podcast. Together we can create a society that benefits us all. Send us an email at thevisionseekers.podcast@gmail.com. Find us on YouTube and Instagram at The Vision Seekers Podcast, and follow us on Twitter at Vision Seekers JA. We look forward to hearing from you.